Welcome everyone to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube.com. It is going on MF Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Florio, Dee Dee Woodson, and Michael Bullock. I apologize for the late start on trying to get all my ducks in a row over here. Got home from work a little later than I wanted to, and a whole bunch of stuff went down. But we're here, we're ready to go, and guys, let's kick it off as we have Smackdown Live now under the control of Eric Bischoff. Eric Bischoff is the executive director of this show. Well, in the immortal words of his song, he's back and better than ever. How did it turn out? What did we get here tonight? And was it was it good enough in the eyes of everybody else? So, the first thing we started was with the KO show, as it had Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre, and they basically, cut a promo, the whole 9 yards. All right. At the end of the day, I mean, it wasn't much. There wasn't much about it. It was okay for what it was worth. I don't think it was really anything amazing to start the show, and I don't know. I mean, it kind of felt like it wasn't. It didn't feel like Eric was running that part. This feels like the traditional formula from McMahon and and the guys from the past. It just felt very repetitive. Like we kind of knew, like, oh boy, like that's not the way you want to start a show. Not at all. At least not in my mind. So, nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, it's all yours.
Well, I'll tell you, MF. I mean, I read a dirt sheet earlier saying that Eric Bischoff is not supposed to take office until after Extreme Rules. So
Oh man, are you kidding me?
Relax. It's only a couple weeks. You're gonna be fine. It's gonna be all right. But that was a dirt sheet according to that pro wrestling group that we're a part of on Facebook. But anyways, that might explain why we Dee Dee heard it too, absolutely. But anyways, getting to this, I agree. This was a weird segment, honestly. A weird segment to start off this show in San Antonio tonight. Kevin Owens came off like a total babyface throughout. So much so that I began to wonder if this was a full-fledged turn again. Before Shane teamed he and Dolph Ziggler for a match with Heavy Machinery, where the winning team will be added to Bryan and Rowan in the New Day for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships at Extreme Rules. We'll get into that later. Kevin Owens is really good in this antagonistic role, especially playing off of other heels. And I'll be honest, this furthers my interest and intrigue in seeing him actually have a legitimate babyface run. They wanted to do it the first time, but because of Daniel Bryan being injured, they had to abruptly turn him heel and, sick him on Kofi, But now that, Daniel Bryan is back and better than ever and some other things, and I don't know where Sami Zayn was. I haven't heard anything about him being injured or anything, so who knows? Maybe the KO show might be turning face again. And if that's the case, I'm intrigued. I'm willing to give it a chance. I was willing to give it a chance the first time. So we'll see. So nothing more to say on this. Michael Bullock, come on in. A very weird way to start off this edition of SmackDown Live from San Antonio tonight.
Yeah, this was definitely a very weird way to start it off. I mean, at first, it looked like, KO had Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre as the guests, basically talking about the upcoming match with The Undertaker and Drew McIntyre, which, oh, by the way, guys, they announced that, it was Shane that said that this match is now no holds barred. So I figure I throw a little bit of that into it. So yeah, I mean, it looked like the whole thing with KO looked like he was him being a face. I mean, yeah, I mean, I was up for it too until obviously the Daniel Bryan injury, and they had to put the kibosh on that. So yeah, so you pretty much touched on everything. It was just a weird way to start off SmackDown Live. So Dee Woodson, it's yours.
It was kind of a weird segment to begin with. As we all said last night, you know, it was a fresh thing to start off with a match. Where tonight we started off again with a segment. Not something, you know, we all want to start a show off with, especially one as strange as this, because I don't think they even knew what they wanted to do with him, because he came off half heel, half face. I mean, it wasn't complete heel, wasn't complete face. It was kind of half and half. And because, I mean, he's ridiculing Shane and everything over here, but, you know, still at the same time, he's being the same KO we all know. So, yeah, it was a very odd, very, very odd segment. So, yeah, I don't know much else to say other than, you know, Shane really didn't do anything except for make this match for the main event. So, yeah, you guys pretty much covered it all. So, Fletch, it's yours.
All right, and the next thing we had was a one-on-one match, as it was one half of the SmackDown Tag Team Champion, the Planet Champions, Daniel Bryan, and he went up against New Day member Big E. When it was all said and done, the winner of the bout in 9 minutes and 33 seconds, the Planet Champion, the new Daniel Bryan. Anthony Florio, he got him with the running knee for the 1, 2, 3. Give me your thoughts about this match.
Good match, despite being a little on the short side. 2.5 stars. I like the psychology of Bryan working over Big E's knee and Big E selling it throughout what was left of the bout. I'd really like to see these guys have another bout with more time. So I'm just going to keep it short and simple. Solid 2.5 star match. Nothing more to say. Bullock, the new Daniel Bryan, pulls it out. Thanks in large part to Rowan.
Yeah, I mean, he did pull out thanks to Rowan. I mean, it was a good match. I mean, but it was a little too short for my liking. I mean, I would have loved to see a little more out of this, but it was a good 2.5 star match as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah, so there's really nothing more that needs to be said. Dee Woodson, it's yours.
Yeah, I can agree with the rating. It was about 2.5. You know, it was good. They worked well together, and you know, the heels got some revenge from all the recent losing that they, you know, that Bryan and Rowan has done to the New Day at that. So, I mean, there's not a whole lot here. I mean, the momentum right now is in the Daniel's corner, so I give it to you, Fletch.
All right. I'm going to give this 2.5 stars. I thought this was an all right fight. Without a doubt, the outcome was never in doubt, and I thought that was a good thing to do. So I really had nothing bad to say about that. So we're just going to move right along to the next fight to the next thing on the show, which was a moment with Bliss. Tonight's guest was Nikki Cross. It was interrupted by Bayley and led to a match, a one-on-one match. It was Bayley, the SmackDown Women's Champion, versus Nikki Cross, and the winner of the bout, a hair under 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 49 seconds, was the SmackDown Women's Champion, Bayley, the Bayley to Belly for the victory. Michael Bullock, I give it to you. What did you think about the moment with Bliss and the match?
Well, actually, Fletch, I have to correct you. It was a moment of bliss hosted by Nikki Cross with Bailey as the guest.
Oh, okay. I stand corrected.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, it was a strange segment with the way the two interacted. I mean, Bailey was once again trying to get Nikki to believe that that Alexa Bliss is using her, but obviously Nikki wasn't buying it, so that's what led to the match here. And as far as the match goes, um, yeah, this was too short for me, so I'll give it about 1.5 as far as I'm concerned. So that's pretty much all I can say. Dee Woodson, it's yours. I mean, originally when I saw this, I thought this was a setup by Alexa Bliss for her to jump Bailey.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Yeah, I guess you could say instead of this being a moment of bliss, it was a moment of Nikki, because since she was actually hosting this, and she did fairly well. Trying to be host for this. Of course, explaining her accent and everything. But yeah, it was a lot of good questions popped up on this. Why did Nikki give the shot to Alexa when she pretty much kind of earned the shot herself? So there are a lot of good questions there. As far as the match, since it was so short, I'm not going to rate it because I have the time of the fall being about 3 minutes. So with it being that short, I'm not even going to rate it. It was solid for the time it was given, but I would have liked to see it go a little bit longer.
Mm.
Just because of the fact that it was just so freaking short. So, yeah, nothing else I'm going to say, Fletch. Just go on.
Granted, no doubt about it. I could easily call this a no content or a no rating. I could give you that, but I could also see Mike Bullock's logic of the 1 to 1.5. We can go there too. I don't think there's really much more that really needs to be said. So, Anthony, just give us a quick thought.
Not much to this one, but the action was fine while it lasted. I thought both women came off well in their respective roles here, which hasn't always been the case with segments involving Bailey, Nikki, and or Bliss. Giving Bailey the win back was probably the right idea here, though I think I would have rather seen this given a little bit more time to develop. Nikki Cross did get a good amount of offense in, though, so it's hard to get really upset. I'm actually going to go with Bullock on the rating here. I'll put in the 1 to 1.5. I'm willing to do that. So nothing more to say. Let's move on, MF.
All right. So the next thing that we did have was we had a promo that was done by the WWE champion with as Kayla Braxton was in the ring introducing Kofi Kingston, interrupted by Samoa Joe, and oh boy did this go off the PG rating rails, because Kofi Kingston did something that was very not PG. Stone Cold Steve Austin would be tipping a beer with him right now. He gave him the birdie salute. He gave him the FU. Oh my God, I can't believe that just happened. What?
Here's to you.
Yep, there you go. Didi, I know you are very, very, very the mother hen of the group and anything else. I think you might need to take Kofi into the woodshed for this one, because he did something very, very naughty tonight.
Yeah, he did, but I'm going to also correct you on this one because this was a face-to-face with Kofi and Joe. It was Joe did not interrupt it. He was actually invited out there. So,
all right.
It was a really good segment. Kofi showing the fire and Joe continuing to be, the heel that he is, and cutting his really great promos he does. For me, this was, a really awesome segment because, they brought up a lot of the history of Joe, when he was going after AJ and, all the other things he's done, attacking people in the back, behind their backs and stuff like that. and him actually losing to Ricochet, that was brought up. So yeah, I mean, this was a really good segment, and yeah, he flipped the bird. And honestly, you know, as a mother, I probably would take him out to the woodshed, but seeing as the reason he did it, I think I'd rather take Joe out behind the woodshed and kick his butt. So,
all right,
I'll toss it to you.
very well. Yeah, I don't think there's really anything that really needed to be added on this one. This was very interesting to say the very least. This was a good segment. Kofi, you know what? The one thing I think we were really uncertain about was the in-ring ability he has, no doubt about it. But does he have the promo chops to hang as WWE champion? I think the answer is yes, guys. He has become a successful champion. This is not a bad reign at all. I think with the more and more of the battles that he's going through and the whole 9 yards, I can openly admit I really like the opportunity that they have. So I'm very impressed. I'm very happy with the way that this storyline is going, and they're building it to something that really makes me want to see this fight at Extreme Rules now. From Joe getting the upper hand, choking out Kofi last night on Monday Night Raw, and then to turn around 24 hours later to do a face-to-face and blow this one out of the water? This is segment of the night, guys. Segment of the night. And not only that, but this is great storyline progression heading into the title fight at Extreme Rules. Raw did a great setup with the match last night. And as usual, SmackDown Live hits another home run with storyline progression with a tremendous promo. Very, very good. Excellent week for Kofi Kingston and Samoa Joe. No doubt about it in my mind. Florio, it's yours.
Yes, indeed. Segment of the night. Absolutely spot on. Once again, MF, what a segment. Kofi was affable without falling back on a lot of the tropes they've built into his character recently. Joe was menacing and calculated. Joe's logic behind requesting the handshake held weight because not only did he explain himself well, but the proposition included a callback to Joe's feud with AJ Styles and the torment of Styles' family. All of this worked, and Kingston's moment of defiance at the end was refreshing and painted him as a tough, strong-willed, badass champion. This was generally one of the better talking segments on SmackDown Live in a long while. So there's really nothing more to say to this. Michael Bullock, come on in. Segment of the night, without a doubt. And oh boy, Bullock, when we saw during our SmackDown chat tonight, when we saw Kofi flip the bird, did I go nuts or did I go nuts during that?
I think we both went nuts when Kofi did it. But yeah, this was definitely the segment of the night here. I mean, I love the back and forth with Kofi and Joe, and then talking about how Samoa Joe lost the U.S. title to Ricochet, how Joe's been using family, and then basically flipping the bird to Samoa Joe, and when we thought we were gonna get a handshake, that was surprising. Folks, that was definitely not PG. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to say. Segment of the night, Fletch, it's yours.
Next up we had was a one-on-one match. Andrade versus Apollo Crews. Andrade wins the match at 7 minutes and 56 seconds. I'm going to say this was a sleeper fight of the night. I honestly thought that, if this would have got in about 10 minutes, this actually would have been in contention for fight of the night. This was a good match. Yes, there was interference by Zelina Vega. I think we all could have expected that. Zelina just can't help herself on that one. And she gets herself involved in the match, which helps Andrade gets the victory here. But this was an okay fight. This was about 2 stars for me, 2.25. Again, if it was given a little more extra time, I think this would have gone a little more higher. Like I said, out of all the fights that we had tonight, this was a sleeper fight of the evening, at least in my mind. So, well done, good match, Anthony. It's yours.
Solid 2.5, wouldn't you say?
I agree.
Yeah. Quick match, but solid enough. Both of these guys are supremely talented in the ring, and it's always nice to see them get TV time. Andrade needed a win here, and I'm glad he got it. But Apollo Crews looked good, and the announcers talked him up plenty. Hopefully, this means more time for both of them going forward. And one other thing, that is the best I've seen Apollo Crews look in quite some time. I mean, here's a guy who, had a solid, decent career in NXT. He gets called up to the main roster. His biggest match, his biggest career match was when he challenged The Miz for the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship, 2016 SummerSlam. And fortunately, they used him as an enhancement talent. He was a meh talent. He was one of those jobber, lower tier guys. That guy's got potential. Let me tell you, he's got potential. He's got a great look. I'm very disappointed in WWE for how they have criminally underutilized that young man. He is very talented. And after this great outing tonight with Andrade, even in a losing effort, that's the best I've seen him look in a very long time. Hopefully, going forward, they'll utilize him better. So nothing really more to say. Solid 2.5 stars here. So Michael Bullock, I mean, first time in a very long time, even though it was in defeat, Apollo Crews actually looked halfway decent tonight.
Yeah, I mean, for the first time in a while, I mean, Apollo Crews looked good. Looked good in a match in who knows how long. So, yeah, I mean, I'll give it the 2.5 stars as well. I mean, I was very impressed with both of these men. Yes, it was short, but I enjoyed it even in the short amount of time that it actually did get. So, well done, guys. So, 2.5 stars. D.D. Woodson, it's yours.
Yeah, I'll agree. 2.5 stars. It was a solid match. Went back and forth a lot. But in the end, the right guy won. It was nice to see, Andrade come over on top on this one. But yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot to say about it. I could go with the sleeper fight of the night too. So, Fletch, it's yours.
All right, the next fight that we had was Ember Moon going one-on-one with Mandy Rhodes. And when it was all said and done, it was Ember Moon, the eclipse on Mandy Rose. Anthony Florio, 3 minutes and 28 seconds. Ember Moon, statement win and a much-needed win for her on SmackDown Live. Big win tonight for her.
Without a doubt. Not much to this one, but good to see Ember get her win back. Hopefully this is the end of the awful angle these women have been trapped in. Now, I'm all for secondary women's angles, but the stories they tell should be at minimum substantially better than this. Byron Saxton referred to this, like MF just said, as a statement win for Ember, which usually indicates that talent is moving on and up, by the way. And, I just talked about it with Apollo Crews. Here's another talent that has been, since being called up to main roster, beyond criminally underutilized. I mean, well, but then again, she was on Monday Night Raw, where you get criminally underutilized and lost in the shuffle in a heartbeat, easily. But even on SmackDown Live, I mean, unless there was an injury somewhere along the road, here's a former NXT Women's Champion, someone who pushed Asuka to the limit. We all know that. Here's another one that's got great talent, great look, and the whole 9 yards, but yet she's being underutilized. That's not fair to her. but at least you gave her a nice win here tonight. And I still believe in my heart of hearts, maybe not this year, maybe sometime next year down the road, I strongly believe in my heart of hearts, Ember Moon will one day be a SmackDown Women's Champion. I believe it. So really nothing more to say on this. I'll give this about maybe 1 for the effort. I would probably call this the worst fight of the night, if I'm going to be honest with you. Even though Michael Bullock, our favorite referee, refereed this match. You know who I'm talking about. The one and only
Danilo and Fabio.
Mr. Danilo and Fabio.
To you. Yeah.
Buddy. So nothing more to say. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I'll give it about 1. I mean, I could easily call it a no rating as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah, hopefully this is the end of this angle. So, nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, I'll just give it to you.
Yeah, I'm going no rating. Just really short. Basically Amber got some revenge. But hopefully this feud's over. But I have a feeling it's going to continue, and that we're just going to keep getting more of what we've got with them. I'm just hoping that we're not reverting back to before the women's evolution, because these matches are really, really short, and it's like they're trying to rush it, and I don't really like the way that they're handling it on this one. Hopefully when Eric is able to get his hands on the product, that things get turned around and we get back on a positive note. So not much more I'm going to say about it. Fletch, it's yours.
No doubt about it. I thought it was supposed to be a little better, and at the end of the day, I mean, it was all right, but there's really nothing more to say about it. So, like you guys said, we're just gonna move right along. And the next thing that we had here, well, it was the main event of the evening. It was Heavy Machinery, Otis and Taka versus Ziggler and Kevin Owens. The winner of the bout in 11 minutes and 12 seconds. Ducky, we did it! We're gonna get a tag team title match! Yeah, Otis and Tucker, they win it! They advance. Heavy Machinery at 11 minutes and 12 seconds. Michael Bullock, it's all yours. We gotta sell the triple threat there, Ducky!
They did it! They did it! Yeah, buddy. Yeah, this to me was definitely the fight of the night. I'll give it about 3.25, 3.5 for the effort here. I mean, no big surprise that that Heavy Machinery was gonna win this, especially after what happened at the end when Dolph Ziggler he kicked his own partner. Whoops! Miscommunication on that end. And then after the match, well, let's just say Kevin Owens didn't take that kick lightly, and then he stunned Dolph Ziggler's ass. Yeah. You see what happens there, Dolph, when you mess with someone like KO? And he found out the hard way, so yeah, now we got ourselves a triple threat for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. So Daniel Bryan and Rowan are definitely gonna be challenged here, because now no, you got Heavy Machinery, but you got Xavier Woods and Big E of the New Day. So yeah, so there's really nothing more for me to say. Dee Woodson, I give it to you.
Yeah, some people just have to learn the hard way, Bullock. That's just how it goes. But yeah, I think the right team won on this one. I pretty much agree with the ratings that you guys gave. It was solid, but the way they handled the commercial break in the middle of it, I thought was kind of weird. We stop it and then restart it. That was kind of strange. I still think that kind of took away from it just a tad bit. But they need to figure out what they want to do with these guys. Because certainly matching two guys up that don't like each other, that might have worked for Cesaro and Sheamus, but it didn't work here. So, like I said, the right team won. Heavy Machinery going into the pay-per-view for the triple threat. Awesome to go with that. Post-match, wasn't too surprised that, that happening. Wasn't really surprised that Dolph Ziggler kicked KO in the middle of the match either. So, not much more I'm going to say about it. Fletch, it's yours.
I agree with you guys. This was definitely fight of the night. 3.5 stars. Great match. Great match. I cannot believe that it actually played off the way that it did. But I'm very happy with the outcome. I'm very happy with the result. And yeah, there's really nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, it is all yours, my friend.
3 to 3.5, absolutely spot on. This was the fight of the night, without a doubt. Fun match. A little chaotic at the start, but it served its purpose of heightening the tension already built between New Day and the Planet's Tag Team Champions. Heavy Machinery continued to improve, and Ziggler and Owens played great foils for them here. The finish seemed like the right one, and Owens' attack on Ziggler after the match was a nice touch. I'm very much rooting for a full-fledged babyface Kevin Owens. So, really nothing more to say on this. 3 to 3.5. We got ourselves a triple threat match. Bryan and Rowan, the New Day, Big E and Xavier, Heavy Machinery. This could be one of the most fun SmackDown tag team title matches we've seen in quite some time. We haven't had really... Well, actually, we did have the match at Stomping Grounds, which ended up being not only the sleeper fight of the night, but the fight of the night. Go figure. So now you're going to throw Big E and Xavier into the mix. This could be even better. Who knows? Philadelphia, get ready. You're going to be in for a wild ride when these 6 men get together.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't I right on that, MF?
I agree. It's time for the overall review. I don't think Michael Bullock would be ready, so I'm going to toss it off to Didi. What's in Didi? I know you say you need to get going, so just give me your thoughts on the overall review, and we'll wish you a good night.
Yeah, I don't think SmackDown was quite as good as Raw this week, so I'm going to go probably with about a 7. But,
Okay.
It still had a lot of storyline going on with it, but it also had a lot of confusion. And it just, to me, it felt very rushed. That what they could have taken more time with, they didn't. They just tried to add more into that 2-hour slot. I think they need to slow it down a little bit. If you need to cut some segments or something, go for it, because this was more segments than matches and more backstage stuff and promos and all this kind of stuff. I mean, you watch this for the wrestling, not for the drama. And I think right now, they need to just let Eric and Heyman loose, let them do what they need to do to the products, whether it's before Extreme Rules, after Extreme Rules. I don't care. Just, let them loose, let them do what they need to do, because the longer this goes on, the harder it's going to be for them to turn it around, if they're able to turn it around. It looks like Heyman has already started that process on Raw. I know Eric was there. He probably had a hand in maybe a couple of things that went on there, but just let him loose. Let him do what what he can do, and I think we'll have some lot better ratings and a lot better matches and stuff when all that comes around. And I can't wait to see this storyline with Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss finally end, because we all know Alexa's using her, and she's just blind to it right now because she's just so in need of just having that friendship. So we'll just kind of have to wait and see how that plays out, and hopefully it plays out within the next few weeks, and we can get a feud maybe with with them against each other. So yeah, not much more I'm going to say about it. So I'll see you all next show. Good night.
All right. Good night, Dee Dee. I gotta agree. I'm gonna give this 7 out of 10. I think it was a good show. It wasn't perfect. It's not perfect. It's still got some stuff to go, but it looks like they're taking the right steps. I think that's the best way to do it. They got to work on some other storylines. I mean, there are some storylines that's really good. Kofi versus Kofi and Joe, you really got nothing more to really worry about. You got to continue the path, but they're on the right direction. They're going right on that. The tag team title fight, Anthony, you alluded to it. There's nothing more to add on that. I think they're in a really, really, really good position there. I don't think there's really anything else that they really need to do. There's certain things that they need to work on, but as far as everything else goes, I think they did a good job. So 7 out of 10, nothing more to say. Floria, what's yours?
Yeah, 7 out of 10. This show was a marked improvement over anything we've seen on SmackDown Live in recent months. Beyond some solid wrestling, we got a fantastic segment between Samoa Joe and Kofi Kingston, minimal Shane McMahon, and a show centered largely around making the tag team titles seem like a big deal, with multiple stories interwoven throughout the night. KO's personality developments are intriguing and enticing. We saw some rarely featured talent actually get some TV time. We also had an expiration date for Aleister Black's odd promos. Something's going down with him at Extreme Rules. We'll see what that is. And what appeared to be an all-around renewed focus on the things that matter. Now, even though he wasn't there, and he's technically not supposed to start this new executive director role until after Extreme Rules, I'm considering week 1 of the Eric Bischoff era to be a notable success. So well done. Well done, SmackDown Live, even though we agreed for the first time in a long time, Raw actually had the better show. Go figure. So week 1 goes to Heyman. So Heyman takes the week here, but we'll see what happens next week when Raw comes to Newark, New Jersey, and SmackDown Live will I forgot where they're going to be, but I do know Raw will be in Newark, New Jersey, and Manchester, New Hampshire. That's where SmackDown will be next week. So we'll see what happens. So 7 out of 10, I agree with that. Bullock put a bow on it.
Yeah, I'm going to make it a 7 out of 10 as well. I mean, it was a good show, no doubt about it. But, yeah, I'm in agreement with everybody here. Monday Night Raw was definitely better than SmackDown Live this week. But I can say both shows under the new executive directors, I think, has gotten off to such a good start. So there's really nothing more to say. Fletch, I think we're just going to put a bow on this edition of Cerebral Smack Talk.
Yes, we are. We're going to get on out of here. So we want to thank Anthony Flayo, Mike Bullock, and Dee Dee Woodson as always. On Friday night, it's Strictly Sports, and this time we're going to be talking about the NBA free agency. We're going to go team by team, all the teams that got their major players, and we got some significant moves that has been made, and a move that has not yet been made. We're still waiting on Kawhi Leonard if he's making a move yet. We haven't heard it. If he does, we'll cover it right then and there on Friday night, 10:30 Eastern, and of course the Major League Baseball Power Rankings, Tone 25, 10:30 Eastern. And until then, for Anthony Flayo, Mike Bullock, Dee Dee Woodson, I'm Mike Fletcher. Like the video, leave a comment at the bottom, share with all your friends on all social media platforms. As always, Huzz and Hand Pounds, we are out. Have a good night, everybody, and so long for now. Bye-bye.